So you want to learn more about RIE Approach. I'm so glad that you are here because today we are going to talk about what is RIE Approach, what is this respectful parenting for babies, and I'm going to give you 9 basic principles of the basic principles of RIE Approach. So I'm so excited and we're going to begin right now. So hi, welcome to Southeastern Mama. My name is Grace, and I would also like to welcome you to this new series named Caring for Babies with Respect. And today we are talking about the introduction of RIE Approach. And I would just to would like to mention to you that my reference is will be coming from this book. It's Dear Parent Caring for Infants. It's from Magda Gedved. She is I think, the person that originally come up with this new philosophy for parents or caregivers. So I would just like to mention that my reference is this book. And just a quick introduction. My name is Grace, and you're watching Southeastern Mama. And this new series of mine will be, we will be talking about more about RIE Approach every week. And just so you know that I am live, and this is a new setup for me. So please bear with me if I am learning this new setup along because we are busy parents. We are all busy moms, and at the same time, I want to extend the message to all mothers about this amazing resource of how can we get be better with our parenting with our children, and so that we can also benefit from all of these, right? So without further ado, let's go. Let's just dive into the basic principles of RIE approach. So let me just tell you that RIE approach is also known as resources for infants, resource for infants educators. So um, so yes, so let's I have slides for you to show so that it's easier for you visually so that you just don't see my face. So let's begin with number one. And right now you're seeing a different one, but okay, here you go. The basis of RIE approach is respect. Now, respect is quite an easy thing to think about. Like, right? When I come up to this RIE approach, immediately I thought of like, of course, I'm gonna respect my own child, right? Um, but respecting a child is actually goes deeper about it, and because let me just so yes. So let me just share to you my experience because I have a baby. She's now 19 months old, and I stumbled upon with this RIE approach when I was pregnant. And when I heard this RIE approach, respecting your baby, for me it's like, of course it's automatic. Of course I'm gonna respect my baby. Who doesn't do that, right? But since I am so passionate about learning about parenting of different styles, I dive into it regardless of like, of course it's an automatic thing. So I bought this book that I showed you earlier, and I was amazed because it goes deeper than that. Respecting your child is just not, it's not an easy thing to do because um there's a lot going on, especially on the first stages of motherhood when you were having a newborn, you're sleep deprived. There's a lot going on. So the principles or the basis basics of RIE approach might be hard to implement because everything is new to you. But with support and with having someone that supports you or that you listens to reminds you that you can do this. So um yeah, so the basis of a RIE approach is number one is respect. And we don't only respect our babies, we demonstrate our respect every time we interact with them. So respecting means treating even the youngest infant as a unique human being, not as an object. So I want to highlight to you that um, the RIE approach encourages to not picking up an infant without telling them, or and talking directly and not over them. Also, waiting for the child's response. And for me, honestly, it wasn't an automatic thing for me. I have to remind myself that I have to practice this new um, what am I gonna say, new habits. It's a habit, right? So if you're not used to it, you tend to forget it, especially when you're overtired. And I remember when my baby is newborn and up until the babyhood, I wasn't perfect. And we're not, this is also one thing, right approach doesn't want you to be perfect. We're not superhuman, right? We This approach doesn't expect you to be perfect, but just to for you to have the confidence, and so the baby will also have the confidence because of this respect that you demonstrate. So let's move on to the next principle, and that is that the RIE approach goal is to have an authentic child. Is to yeah, because such respectful attitude helps develop an authentic child. So if the child has shown respect, of course, as an adult as well, we tend to be authentic by ourselves. So that is the main goal of the RIE approach, and as well as one who feels confident and autonomous and secure. I think I really believe in this, that when a child or a baby feels secure, autonomous, meaning having freedom to their bodies, and um, respected, that they will become true to themselves, and that is the main goal of RIE approach, an authentic child. So let's move forward to our third basic principle, and that is to trust in the infant's competence. Now, um, we trust that our babies will be the initiator of whatever milestones that they are having. For example, walking. I remember my baby is very into crawling. She is already like 10, 11 months old, and some babies are already walking at this stage, and I'm thinking, why aren't you walking yet? But with this approach, I remember that it was reminded me that they have their own time. Trust your child that she or he will come to that stage, and that she wants to refine her climbing or crawling skills, and not yet ready for walking. So remember to always trust your child and not hurry those milestones just for the sake of our own feeling, uh, and not thinking about our own child, that she or he is not on that stage yet. So don't stress out. I know this simple things like their milestones. We are always excited. We always want to see them do what other babies are doing, but actually we are quite hurting our child's authenticity in that way too. But on the other hand, I also want to remind other moms too to become to make it a balance if he or she is beyond his developmental milestones. You know what I mean? Because, for example, in speech delays or some developmental that they are behind. So just keep that in mind, that to have that good balance. And of course, we always work with pediatricians, with our nurses, so that we know if they are still in a normal stage. But but be, even but without that, I think it's important to balance this. So yeah, so that's the second one. The third one is to trust in our child's in their own timing. And moving forward to our next one is it's sensitive observation. So in a RIE approach, we try to relax, we try to observe our babies and see what they're into. And by observing, we also learn what kind of environment they need. So this is also to understand the infant's communications and his needs, right? To be calm and to have that observation skills as a mother, we tend to understand how our babies communicate to us, how um, how he or she communicates his needs. So if we step backward and just observe, we tend to teach less, and we tend to prepare the environment that they need. So in RIE approach, um, they encourage you to the approach encourage you to work less and enjoy more, which we are going to be talking about later on. So moving forward, caregiving times involving the child. This is a big one in in a RIE approach. So babies should become an active participant rather than a passive recipient of the activities. These are opportunities for interaction, cooperation, intimacy, and mutual enjoyment. You know, I this is I'm very glad that I learned from RIE, because I remember to always remind myself that whenever I am caring for my child, caring I mean by feeding, by changing the diaper, changing the clothes, bathing. Um, these are the moments, the caregiving times that I wholeheartedly or giving the quality time to my baby, and it's such a rewarding thing to give all your time and to have that intimacy, to have that quality time together. You laugh, have fun with each other. So RIE approach really encourage to let go of your mobiles, let go of any distraction, and just to be with your child whenever it's caregiving time. So that's my personally favorite of all this. They are equally important. This one really changes my parenting to to my child, to my daughter. So um, moving forward is having a safe, challenging, predictable environment. So this is also like, if you look into my to my parenting style, I also use the Montessori philosophy, and they are almost almost the same in their philosophies, in that you as a caregiver and your child is not the end of it. You also consider the environment around your baby. So this is the same thing with RIE approach. So a safe and challenging um, environment for a baby will help her or him to be authentic with himself too, to follow her lead and discover her own body, her own movement, and moving forward to this series, we are going to talk about a lot more about this environment for babies, for them to have safe and challenging as well to have. So consider subscribing in this channel if you would like to learn more about RIE approach. I would really appreciate if you will be here with me as we go along with the learning of this approach. But the environment, it's so important for the child to for you as well, actually, because for me, in based on my experience, if your environment is not safe for your baby, you tend to stress more. It's impossible to relax with a baby if your environment is unsafe. So this is an important step in having our baby, for them to have a yes space. So if you heard about yes space, it's um, having a dedicated space for our babies, wherein we don't have to say no to our babies, wherein they can explore their they have freedom, you know. So again, this is one of the important factor that us caregivers or parents needs to ready. So yeah. So moving forward to our next philosophy is um, time for uninterrupted play and freedom to explore. Just like what I mentioned earlier. So time for uninterrupted play. Um, this is something that's the habit that also changed my parenting style. You know, we often disturb, maybe that's a wrong word, but we often interrupt our children whenever they're playing. We unintentionally do it, but with RIE approach, we try to give them the time, the focus in doing whatever they want to do, you know, because by that, it gives us the time to observe as well what are they into. And it is also an opportunity to see how they develop, um, and a very big opportunity for us to step back and relax if we provide uninterrupted play with them. And this is also comes with like giving time for you as a mom, and giving time for your own baby as well. I remember when my child, she's 19 months old right now, as I said earlier, and I remember when she was a baby, having this uninterrupted play gives time for me to read these books. This is the time where I can relax and just enjoy her, watching her, and observe her. It's just amazing that we don't have to do a lot with our babies. Actually, comparing it right now that she's on the move, she wants to use her body all the time. She's a young toddler and loves to move. I can tell that the baby stage is actually easier than at this point, because they don't need a lot, right? Babies, they don't really need you don't have to teach them. They will learn from the it's too much already from their environment to learn. um so yeah, so it's also an important thing to have that uninterrupted play and freedom to explore within the day to your routine. I remember giving my child that time and space alone so that I can also have my time. I think twice daily, once in the morning and once in the afternoon, so that we can just relax and she can just learn whatever she wants to learn around her. So that is the next, and the next one is consistency. You know, this is what I told earlier. It's so tough to be consistent when you are tired, when you lack of sleep, and whenever you also have problems with your child, with their health, with their, because personally, my daughter, personally, we have feeding problems with my daughter. She have multiple allergies, and that stress led me to not be consistent with the right approach. So I encourage you, if you don't have, I know a lot of babies doesn't have any issues, so this is really your opportunity to be consistent. But I'm not telling that it's impossible to be consistent when you are going through a lot of stresses with your child, or if your child is a high demand. I'm not saying that it's impossible to be consistent, but don't beat yourself up if you cannot go through with this, because um one day of not being more respectful or communicative with your child doesn't ruin the whole practice of you being respectful for your child, if you know what I mean. So don't get discouraged by that. Just take it one at a time. That's what I always tell to myself, because it's tough having multiple allergies. um I don't want to go through with it, but I want to tell you, if you're going through something else and still wanting to pursue this parenting philosophies that are far from what is norm in our society right now, I admire you, that you keep on doing these things even though you're having a hard time. And let's just keep it up, because that my desire to learn more, in my parenting is very strong, even though I have these stresses, problems of her multiple allergies. So if you're in the same situation, please let me know, comment down below, and let me know if you are having um, some special needs, probably any conditions that your child might have, and you still want to implement this respectful parenting, because you are not alone. So moving to the last point of this RIE basics is, parents should enjoy more and work less. So in a RIE, we help parents learn to live and let live with their infants. So this is a long-term learning process. It's slow. You have to really. It's not a one thing that when you learn the philosophy, it, that it's an automatic thing. It's not like, I remember myself being so excited and learning this philosophy when I was pregnant, and by the time my newborn is here, oh my god, it's not easy to implement these things. So keep your process and your progress slow, because this is going to be a long term learning for us. So it should happen organically. So allowing for time in which the seeds of understanding may sprout, grow, bloom, and eventually bear fruit, with these habits that we want to implement with our parenting style. So and also, this is the moment where it's very important to implement the basic right ideas, because it's easier to develop good habits from the beginning than to undo and change bad habits later, right? So um yeah, so this is our is the basic of basic principles of RIE. So I hope that you learn from that. This video is keeping long now. I'm so sorry, I'm still learning, but I hope that I will hear from you through the comments. Where are you at right now? How old is your baby? Because this series will be talking more details. What dialogue should we say, or the caregiving times, the uninterrupted play, the environment. We're going to talk about all of those in this channel, and things will get better how I present these things. So I hope you bear with me and go along with me in this journey. Like I told you, my daughter is 19 months old, so I have learned from that experience from when she was newborn until 12 months, the infancy period, because this is our main topic. This is basically for babies. So I hope you go along with me and share our learning experience and progress with this. And so if I'm doing this whole thing, sharing this RIE approach, because I know that this respectful parenting way will develop a child who is less anxious, a child who is confident. And if our children grows up like that, maybe, and I think I am positive with that, that our society will be less anxious too. And if that will work, let's hope so, because our children is our future. We all know that. And our parenting style really influences that, to have to for them to grow as a complete adult, to be that confident, that compassionate and respectful child. I think this is the main goal I have right now. That's why I'm spreading the word of RIE approach, because not everyone knows about this, and it's so amazing, it's so life changing, lessening the stress as a mom and enjoying the moment of being just with your child. So I think that's it for this video. I hope that you learned something with all of this basic RIE principles. Let me know down below what you want to know more, and where are you struggling at. And I hope that this will turn into a community where we try to be more aware of our behavior, I guess, or our habits with our children. So, yeah, so I hope I'm going to see you next week. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell below, because I will try to be consistent. I'm doing this live because it's going to be more efficient to me to spread the message, less job to edit my videos, because it's so crazy being a mother, stay at home mom, doing all this job. You know what I mean, for sure. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this to any mom who wants to learn more about RIE approach, with specifically with babies. So I will see you soon again next time. Goodbye.